All right, so again, clean brush. We don't want any yellow left on this. And we want a clean dollop of red and a clean dollop of blue. We don't want any yellow in here. So we have our primary red. We can go ahead and label our primary blue as well. This is a primary color. So we'll put a number 1, and this is blue. Okay, and if we mix blue and red in equal amounts, we should get a secondary color that is violet according to color theory. Okay, so I'm going to take my red here and I'm going to, actually I'll take some red and I'll move it into a separate well. I've got a lot of red here. And I'm going to slowly bring in blue. Until I've got about half and half. Okay, so when you mix purple on the palette, it looks very dark, especially if you guys grabbed acrylic and you're working with acrylic, it's going to look really, really dark. So what you want to do is test it out. You can even go to the edge here and just give it a test to see if it actually looks purple. Okay, mine definitely does. And when you add some water to it, it gets even lighter. Okay, so I'm going to just tap my brush into the water a little bit just to loosen this up. Okay, and again, you don't want it super watery. If you find that it's really wet, you can remove some of the water onto a paper towel. So you just want a nice thin coat. Spread it around. Okay, remember what I said, sometimes when you're almost there and you just need a little bit more stretch, sometimes it's worth just dabbing your brush into water. Okay, I'm gonna dab my brush off and then kind of just move around what's left here. Great. So now when we mix violet and red, we should get a tertiary color that's in between a purple and a red. So let's take this purple here and let's bring let's bring the purple into red or red into purple, doesn't matter. I have some red here, so I'm gonna bring some of my purple over. I'm going to test it out. Again, you want something that's different than red and different than purple, something in between. You might get something that pulls on what you would know as fuchsia or magenta, or like a deep velvety red. And you're turning your brush sideways, and you're moving your hand, and you're turning your paper, seeing what works for you, working on your brush control. All right, and on the bottom one here, we're going to mix some of that medium purple that we created first and bring it into some more blue. So if you have a dollop of blue left, you can scoop a tiny bit of your original purple and bring it into the blue. And it should create a blue-violet. like a more cool purple color, almost like Welch's grape juice purple. Okay, and you can test it out again. Make sure it doesn't look like the middle purple. Make sure you can actually see a change. If it looks too much like the center, then add more blue. Okay, mine's feeling really thick, so I'm going to add a touch of water. Okay, and you don't need a lot. Remember, a little goes a long way, so you can remove some if it looks too dark. Okay, and as those dry, we can go ahead and break and label them. So we have primary blue and primary red. Then those mixed in equal amounts gives us this secondary color. You can call it purple or violet, whatever you're more comfortable with. I like to use violet. Okay, our tertiary color here between the violet and the blue is called what? What is this one called? It starts with the primary, so it starts with blue dash violet, blue violet. Blue violet. And then the last one here is a tertiary color as well. Here we're going to call it red violet, red dash violet. So we'll put a 3 for tertiary and red violet. Okay, so I'm going to take a break and let you guys catch up, let those dry. Next, we're going to be working with blue and yellow. So in the meantime, if you want to grab some fresh water, you can, but you don't have to. If you feel like it's getting really mucky, you can grab some fresh water. Make sure your brush is well cleaned off and dried off, because we don't want any red involved in this section of the color wheel. Okay, here we're going to be seeing what we get between the blue and the yellow.